going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Happy 10-Bit Live night. My name is Perry. I'm the host of this Bourbon Podcast. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for checking out the stream. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't done so on the channel just yet. Or if you're watching on Twitch, hit that follow button. Subscribe as well. For $6 a month, we're using a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account. Get one free Twitch Prime a month. Use it on your favorite streamer. Hopefully, that's me. Sugar Kitty kicking things off saying meow on the YouTube chat. Mr. Whiskey Sensory Shenanigans. Michael Schneider. Good afternoon, all you wonderful whiskey people. I'm skipping my nap for this. I mean, I could have napped earlier, but Oblivion Remaster ensnared me. That happens. Kyle Whippert. Hi. Hello, Kyle. And Tony Bag of Donuts. Hi, Perry. I'm listening, but I'm otherwise engaged, so I'll be kind of absent. Not a problem, Tony. Just good to see you. Hope you all have had a good week. Hope it's been solid. Hope you have listened to this week's episode of the podcast with Joe O'Sullivan, the master distiller of Minden Mill Distilling out in Nevada. Which was a really good interview. I really enjoyed getting to talk to Joe. He is incredibly insightful. Got a lot of experience in the field, in the industry. He's done a lot. Smart dude. Personal news-wise, things have been going on in the life of your boy. What have I been doing? Well, we've been trying to get the 11-month-old to walk. She's getting very close to it. On that note, I finally caught up to the podcast last night, and it was a good interview. Thank you. Glad you caught up. Month-old is getting close to walking, which is crazy. The 4, almost 5-year-old is just wonderful. Great interview with Joe. I'm going to try and swing by there this weekend. I'll be in Tahoe for a Weird Al concert. Yes, I'm a big old nerd. That sounds so much fun. I hope you have a good time. And tell Joe I said hello, please, if you do wind up getting to see him. I am going to be alone once again next week. The girls will be gone. So I'm hoping to stream a little bit extra. Do some more Twitch stuff. More bourbon and video games. So be on the lookout for that. Probably not Saturday. I think I'm going to be cleaning up the studio. Finally, I started on it on Monday, and it's a Herculean effort to get most of this done. But as you can probably tell behind me, some things have begun getting cleaned up. But there are a lot of bottles of whiskey that need to be put away. That being said, though, hopefully by next Thursday's normal stream, The room will be in complete and normal order. As far as like Bourbon Podcast stuff, I was supposed to be interviewed tonight by another Bourbon Podcast, one that you probably have never heard of before. It seems relatively new. They bailed last minute, and by bail I mean we were originally supposed to record last night, and then they had something come up, which is completely fine, and then they tried to reschedule for either tonight or tomorrow night, and I said tonight was the only night that would work for me, and then I never heard back. So I don't know if that's ever going to happen. It might, and you all will probably be the first to know about it. I'm also going to be home alone next week. Hope no robbers swing by because I set up traps like little Kevin McAllister. Marie Kondo that bad boy. There's going to be some Marie Kondoing for sure. Hopefully with some lights. Okay. There may or may not be some lights. We shall see. Depends on what sticks to the concrete that has been painted over in the partially finished basement. There's lights here. Want to talk about what we're working on? Thankfully, it has cooled down quite a bit in Lexington as well. We dropped from an average of like 90 to 100 to, I don't know what it is right now, like 75 to 80. At least give me a Brooklyn accent. I'm scared to leak too much of our you know, what we've got in the works behind the scenes. But when I went to go hang out last week with Kyle and Chad, we had a great idea for a new podcast that well, it spun off of a product pitch that, God, Kyle, I gotta be honest with you, man. I kind of forgot about this until right now, and it's all flooding back to me, and I'm really trying to just I'm trying to compose myself because and I can't say it out loud or I'm going to die. We literally cannot talk about it is 100% true. But the idea for the podcast was we all come up with a product, and we try to pitch it in the best way possible. And Kyle's was the most heinous of anything we had ever heard. And it was hilarious. It was so good. Anyway, I'm gonna pour something so I can, as is tradition, yes, so I can get my whistle wet. Nothing crazy, but you know, Four Roses Small Batch Select. There's been plenty of Four Roses talk this week. We're going to discuss some of what's going on with them. We're going to be talking about so much of bourbon season happening right now. All of the limited edition releases. We're going to be talking about new labels that are coming out. We're going to be talking about the fact that Joseph Brazo is stopping by, and it's good to see him. Hello, my friend. I hope you're well. Always a pleasure. Hey. And then on the back half, we are going to be checking out and viewing the 3 new First West bourbons from 15 Stars. I will be interviewing Rick and Ricky from 15 Stars in the near future, talking about these products. Still at work, but what the heck? Hey, never a bad time to tune in to Timbip. And also, if you would like to support the show while it is live here at Timbip Live, you can do so by heading to the pinned comment at the top of your chat, whether you are on Twitch or YouTube, or in the description. The Stream Elements link. Double Richards, now that's a product. It's nothing like the half. Anyway, the Stream Elements link is how we do super chats around here. We call them Snuffy Chats because they are in honor of Mr. Snuffleupagus. He is the patron saint of This Is My Bourbon Podcast Live. I see him, you see him, I believe, you believe, we all believe. He's a good boy. Without further ado, let's have a ceremonial cheers, a sip. Yes, this is a fresh glass. No, it is not dirty. My hands are just that oily. And I love me some Four Roses. Small batch. Select. Let me double check and make sure that we are good to go. No, my lights did not just freak out. It is just the white page on the website where I'm about to head to for the news. And Madrasmus is back in the chat on Twitch. Holy moly, the Swede is back in the chat, bitches. Listened to your interview yesterday, then lo and behold, I saw it on the shelf locally. That is wild, considering I have never once seen Mendon Mill on a shelf at all. But did you grab it? And if not, what was it that you saw on the shelf? What have I missed? Madrasmus, my friend, you have missed the fact that there are now subs and emotes available on on Twitch now. The bourbon and the rye, and no. I'ma abuse this? Great. Fabulous. All right, let's start by talking about the World Bourbon Toast returning on September 14th. That is the final day of Bourbon and Beyond. Congratulations to our friends who won the This Is My Bourbon Podcast Bourbon and Beyond ticket giveaway. By the way, we will see you. I will see you at Bourbon and Beyond. This is organized by the Kentucky Distillers Association. Last year, it was only virtual. This is going to be an in-person and virtual event. Very excited about being there. I'm going to be there, of course, in person. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's going to be massive. You can participate, of course, as well digitally if you are not going to be at Bourbon and Beyond. I have now tasted my first whiskey. It was extremely smoky. I bet it was a Scotch. You can check all this out, though, on Kentucky Bourbon Trail's Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. And you can share post #WorldBourbonToast. I, of course, am not sponsored by them or anything. This is just something I enjoy sharing and participated in last year. And thought it was a very cool event. So check that out. I'm very excited for it. And more about Bourbon and Beyond as we get closer to time. That's just a couple weeks away. And I cannot wait. Now, we're very quickly moving into bourbon season, which Madrasmus is still talking about Hembrandt, the homemade Swedish drink. But as we approach bourbon season, we are also getting into the time your hologram is going to be playing tambourine with Lake Street Dive. I have not tasted it yet, Madrasmus, but I do believe it is time for me to get some. So let's talk about all of the exclusive big releases that are coming out from some of your favorite distilleries. First and foremost, we're going to touch on Old Forester Birthday Bourbon. This is their 25th year of Birthday Bourbon. Time to make it yourself and become blind. I cannot wait to, put myself into a stupor with Hembrandt. There is something slightly different, as you probably know, about Birthday Bourbon this year, though. Instead of it being a sour mash bourbon, it is a sweet mash bourbon. So instead of using setback from their distillate, they are instead using a completely fresh batch of distillate, such is the method of producing a sweet mash. If you did not know, of course. This is a 12-year-old whiskey, of course, which is traditional. Joseph says yawn. The crowd goes mild. It's a lower proof than normal, 92, which is interesting. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the lottery is still open. The 2025 Four Roses limited edition is out. We're not going to go through a full review, but I did want to at least touch on the information about it, because hopefully I will be reviewing it before too long. I did not get the first round of media samples, but I did email today asking if they had any still available. So we will check on that before too long, I hope. I've yet to determine a difference in taste, but it'd be a fun experience to figure it out. Everything about this year's Birthday Bourbon sounds whack AF, but you better believe I'm entering in the lotto. Imagine not having the first. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of bummed. But, I mean, the good thing about it is that it's a large batch, even though it is a small batch. And so there should still be some media samples available. So the mash bills are going to be the OBSV and OESK, I think is how, I don't know why Steve wrote it out the way that he did. But there are going to be 13 through 19-year-old barrels of bourbon in this blend. It's going to be 109 proof, and it's going to be $250 a bottle. Oh, sorry. Here's how it breaks down. OBSV, OESV, OBSK, and OESV. I really have no idea why he wrote it out up here in the way that he did. Hype as always. I'm very excited for this year's Four Roses Small Batch LE. Last year's was not my favorite of the LEs, but it still was good. I'm looking very much forward to trying this one. It was drawn from average, as they typically say, about 2,500 barrels, and it created 16,854 bottles. I can't wait. I cannot wait. That whiskey will be as old as me. Imagine you're drinking me then. I've got the money, but I'll never. I mean, it is quite a lot. It is quite a lot. It's one of those where I'm more interested in trying it and letting you know whether you should consider spending the money on it. I know you said you were joking. But it's a sexy looking bottle, though. I mean, it looks gorgeous. I think that you'll never see it. Oh, okay, true. You could enter the lottery, though. I think the lottery is still open. Either way. Oh, good. An ASPCA commercial. More limited release stuff. Maker's cellar aged, which is going to have 14-year-old Maker's Mark in it. Why is it so many on YouTube and not on Twitch? Kind of empty here. I don't know why the Twitch community is so quiet. I don't know why. I do my best to push people to show up on Twitch, and I don't know. But it's good. I mean, I'm happy that there's a lot of people on YouTube, though. No, but I'm happy you are over there. Double yawn? You're yawning because of the Makers? Really? Oh, you don't like Makers, though. In the arms of the angel of away. Anyway. As old as 14 years. It's got 13 and 11 in there as well. I really, really liked last year's Maker's cellar aged. This year's is going to be $175. That's a very odd leukemia and lymphoma society. Yeah. How long was it hiding away from aging? I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't say. All it says is the barrels go in fully matured, then wait. Cinema. Madrasmus, triple yawn. Got to be better than Joseph. I don't know, man. Look, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to try it. This is probably another bottle that I'm not going to spend. Why on earth are there so many weird ads on the Herald Leader website? Don't want to know the tasting notes just yet. But it's 112.9 proof. And the actual breakdown of the blend is 74% 11-year, 10% 13, and 16% 14-year. Why is everyone raising prices? I don't know. Why am I quiet? Wait, what are you talking about? Is there somebody... There is somebody who's just like lurking on Twitch. I don't know why this other person on Twitch always lurks and never says anything. But there's always somebody. There's always somebody who just lurks on Twitch. Baker's 13 being 150 MSRP is the biggest joke on the market. We'll get to Baker's here in a little bit. We'll get to Baker's, but yeah, it's really bizarre. Oh, it's the Stream Elements bot. Madrasmus. It has you, me, and Stream Elements popping up. That's so funny. I always thought it was like my FBI agent or something. Don't knock people's fetishes. Some just like to watch. I mean, true. Let's move on to something that I think has something maybe for everybody. I don't know. This looks really interesting to me. I'm pretty excited about these releases. Maybe not as excited about the prices. Maybe not as excited about the prices. But the Penelope Bourbon 2025 Estate Collection. There's 4 bourbons in here. Hawk ain't a bit. It's a living person. Ain't a bot. It's a living person. I checked his profile. Oh. Sorry. Lurkily lurking. Okay, maybe there is somebody that's lurking in the chat and I just don't know it. Maybe they've found some way to hide like their presence. Anyway, there's 4 bourbons. 4 bourbons. Popcorn yellow stripe smile. What? Always lurking. Lurk gang, where you at? The first one, also, what's up, Clifton? Good to see you. Bro don't know his own viewers. That's fair. Wait, Hawk. Hawk? Oh, it's Tuga. Wait, is Tuga really watching? Is that who you talk about? It doesn't matter. Was Tuga in here earlier? Is that what you were talking about? Sorry, I'm not going crazy, YouTube. Yeah, Hawk 4 Tuga. I don't know. Tuga's still in there? Why is Tuga's not... Why is... If Tuga's commenting, why are their comments not showing up? Hiding and lurking. That's so funny. Yeah, their Twitch username is Hawk4Tuga. My brain just completely farted out. I don't know why. Either way. All right, let's talk about this daggum Penelope collection. The first one is a 13-year Kentucky bourbon. It's $200. 121.4 proof. That's actually, I mean, it's not a terrible, you know, not a terrible presentation, all things considered. The Founder's Reserve is what it's called. There's the Omega. It's an 11-year French oak finished bourbon at $130. 109.8 proof. Also not terrible. A single barrel at 10 years old and $90. And apparently 99 proof. Different mash bill. 13-year cast strength is almost acceptable. I mean, $200 is a little bit high for what that should be, I feel like. But still, I mean, it's also got like 7,400 bottles. I mean, that's crazy. And then last but not least, a private select 10-year bourbon for $80, 106.8 proof. And it's a 4-grain as well. You think you'd do it for that? For the 200 for the 13-year? I mean, considering what something like Russell's 13 goes for, that's probably not an unfair judgment call. Has anyone had a good Penelope yet? Yeah. I'd do 150. I think 150 is a little bit more appropriate, but I mean, 200 is not terrible. A bird whispered in my ear that Kyle called you poor because you don't have that whiskey. I wouldn't take it if I was you. What's not good about it? I mean, I agree. Like, this seems... Oh, wait, no, this is Kentucky. This is 13-year Kentucky. This is Heaven Hill bourbon. Ban him. So essentially what you're paying for 200 is. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the only thing. And like, this is my honest assessment about this. It's $200 13-year Elijah Craig, essentially. So you're paying for either this or my argument broke down once I realized that most Elijah Craig barrel proof is now 10 years old. I'll calm down a bit. I've had several versions and the best was meh. I'll take an easy BP any day for the most part, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's in that Russell's range, but also we were paying 65 for 12-year at the beginning of the Pandy. Pandy? The erasure of the seriousness of the pandemic is so funny. That's so... What is this? We're just casually, like... calling it... the Pandy. Oh, I can't, man. I can't handle that. That's so funny. It's a fun one. It's something. It's certainly something. I don't know. I'm not over the moon about any of these, honestly. The proof is really what's attracting me to the Founders Reserve more than anything. But overall, I mean, I'm curious about them more than I am, excited, I suppose. It's something, and it makes you special, Kyle. Madrasmus with the zinger. That's good. There's a new Blue Run product coming out that I need to get a sample of because I'm very curious about this. It's finished in gin barrels. It's called Glimmer. 103.2 proof. I'm waiting for the meh from Joseph. Penelope 9 out of 10 times lets me down. Thank you, Madrasmus. I love the interplay between YouTube and Twitch. It's very good. It's approaching Germany not being the same sense. I don't even want to say that out loud because it feels so disrespectful. It feels so insanely disrespectful. This is my favorite brand. It's not even that it's too soon. It's just... it just doesn't... I don't know. YouTube and Twitch, it's me against YouTube. It is. You're right. Thanks to the one Twitch viewer and I guess Tuga, who's, lurking in here somewhere, holding down the fort. But here's what a legendary comp. I love it. Here's Kyle's favorite brand. What is it? Blue Run. My brain completely shut off there for a second. The cap is on my water. Tuga's in my shadow. It's bourbon finished in gin barrels. I don't know what else to say about it. People are probably $150. There you go. 7 to 12 months. I am. Oh, look, you can find your own local office at Weichert Realtors. It's a scared cat, man. Big fan of the butterflies. I just love them. Charging obnoxious prices for NAS barrels. Well, you got to comp yourself, somehow for how you tried to invest all that money into your campus and then did nothing. So, cool stuff, I suppose. No free advertisements here, by the way. I still want to try it. Let's see. Now, okay. I've had barrel-aged Tomcat Gin. Meh. Folks, I think the word of the night here is meh. Pandy brand causes second Holly. Dude, I am going to need to go back to intense therapy after tonight's stream. Give us something exciting. This is the thing that I have been the most excited about all week long. I'm not even joking. I love this. I have been shouting about how I wish that distilleries would do something like this for years. This is so cool. This is so fun. This absolutely screams to the nostalgia that some of us have even manufactured as bourbon drinkers. We go in there Saturday. Is it this Saturday? I think we're rolling up on Saturday. Wise people invest their money on whiskey companies and other wise things. Then there's Kyle investing his money on butterflies. My comment got removed by the bots. I say, oh, shit. So, this is a tribute. This is not using like old dusty beam for this product, but I don't think it matters. I think it's the overall sentiment of it more than it is the and yes, don't get me wrong, there is still like fairly impressive juice that goes into this. It is 8-year-old beam. It is 86.8 proof, and I will be ADHD will be buying 10 of them. I'm trying to drag Grandpa OG and eat shade. Imagine having bots taking away your comments. It's called skill issue. Yeah, we don't have that on Twitch, I guess. That would be such a great bit. It would be hilarious. And then he rolls one single bowling ball, and because it's glass, they all shatter. And it's just a video of Porter going, well, shit. But it's being released to celebrate the 230th anniversary, and it's going to be available starting on the 23rd. Clifton made the jump over to Twitch. Taters cry in unison. Oh. Um, so funny. But it's taking bourbon from the same it's taking bourbon from the same rick houses that the pin bottles were that were in the pin bottles back in the day. It's one of Jim Beam's himself's favorite rick houses, or the same rick houses in general, the 9-story warehouses. It's a really big butt plug. I hate the price, but it's fine. This is my Blanton's. I love this. I think it's so cool. Yes, it's $100. I just think it's I think it's pretty dope, man. I think it's really a just. I think that this sets the tone for what anything is a butt plug if you're brave enough. All right, dog. It's a bowling pin. Oh, it's a bowling pin. But this should set the tone for what other distilleries start doing with some like not heritage releases necessarily, but releases of vintage style decanters that were popular and are popular collector's items. Now, does everything have to be $100? I don't think so. I think that, you could make them $80 or less and instantly, or $80 or less, I'm instantly in. I think so too. I think that $80 is probably a more appropriate price for this. I think more than anything, you're paying more so for the decanter itself. That being said, though, this is not, as a collector's piece, the worst price in the world. Of course, my brain goes to something like Wild Turkey, where you'd get the actual turkey decanter. An empty one of those was $100 a few years ago, which likely means that if you were to get it with whiskey in it now, it would probably be something closer to like $150, if I had to guess. Give the Mash and Drum a Beam Train decanter. Absolutely. I'll just say I'd buy an empty one of this at an antique store for $60. So yeah, that's fair. Yeah. All that being said, though, I'm very excited about this. I think it's very cool, and I look forward to probably getting one. I tried Beam Train decanter juice last weekend, no train included, but it was very good. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about Baker's 13 real quick, which Kyle was talking about earlier, being now at $150 a bottle, which is a rise in price. Clifton says, meh. I have never been overly impressed by these, I will be honest with you. That being said, though, for $100, I want it wax dipped. That's not an unfair. Request. Saw it Total Wine for $165 as well. Easy pass. Yeah. I hate to be the like back in my day kind of guy. I don't think that Baker's needed to be changed from how it was. I think Baker's was pretty perfect before it went through all these changes. I think that this is it's cool that they're doing these age-stated 13-year-old products, but it doesn't make sense in their portfolio. I agree. Is anyone buying Baker's 13? I haven't, and I love the beam and the knob. I mean, I think unless you're just a diehard Jim Beam fan, no, I don't see a whole lot of people just buying this. I don't see any reason to. Small batch was better than the single barrel. I agree. I completely agree. I miss this 7-year-old wine bottle. I passed on it at $100. Yeah, I just don't. Outside of this being a 13-year-old single barrel, and it's just fine, 12-year gets you 90% there at a fraction of the cost, 100%. Maybe regretting that decision now. This was a fun excitement. Fun excitement. It's fine. Very human. A fun excitement to this totally human whiskey reviewer. Finally, something to be excited about. I am excited about this. I am. But I mean, I was excited about the daggum Beam Pin bottle. Anyway. This is so cool. I'm very excited about it. The Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Heritage Barrel Tennessee Whiskey is going to be offered year-round as part of the Single Barrel Collection. I cannot wait. It's going to be just a hater today. That's okay. 100 proof. $70 a bottle. Still going to be in the 750 ml. Can't wait. Can't wait. Back to the previous Beam. If they changed the bottle shape slightly and filled it with Knob Creek. Okay. Okay. Jack Daniel's Heritage was one of the first special releases I had from them and really enjoyed it. Yes. You ain't a whiskey reviewer. I'm sorry to say it, but it's called being an alcoholic. Sadly, I'm one as well. I trip over my words one time and I get called an alcoholic. Jeez Louise. All right, somebody try to help me make heads or tails of what's going on here. Is this a rebrand? Cancel Perry? Give me a break, dog. Is this a rebrand? Are they just redesigning the label? Or I'm talking about my guy chugging from whiskey bottles? Oh, okay. I think, yeah, okay, so Clifton says it's totally a rebrand. I think it is too. Because there's nothing different about it other than the label looks different. Because it's just the same bonded from Jack Daniel's. Otherwise, what are we doing? Select Barrels, a.k.a. a bonded rickhouse? Isn't that just... what do you... So it's just... nothing. Oop, okay. I've been seeing bonded for years. Yeah, I think it's just they're changing up the label a little bit. It looks like the duty free that's being rebranded, maybe. They were allegedly different for a minute. I think your average consumer, not Dara, doesn't know what bonded means. It's branding. That's fair. Dara catching strays in the chat. That's so funny. Bernheim, 20th anniversary, 10-year Kentucky Straight Wheat Whiskey at 115 proof. I'm not particularly excited about this, but I'll try it. You know, I didn't realize that this was as new as 20 years old. Never mind me neither. I mean, Clifton, you could be excited about it. I just I don't know. We'll see. I mean, ready for this to let me down again is kind of how I'm feeling about it more than anything. I know you've been seeing bonded, Joseph, but I think it's time to move on. It's not healthy stalking things. Hello, Brewmaster. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you've been well, man. Good to have you in chat. Yeah, my problem is that I've just been so burnt by the Bernheim barrel proofs that I don't know if I'm gonna go into this with any hype or excitement. That's my one real reservation. Good, Matt. Good to hear. Good having you around. So, we'll see. I'm going to drop a like, though. I can see on that profile picture that Brewmaster has tasted Hembrandt. Matt, have you ever tasted Hembrandt? Their wheat whiskey profile is just so awkward. It's undefined. It's just not. It lacks direction. Only way to start the night by drinking your homemade alcohol. Anyway, we'll see. I'm sure I'll wind up trying it. I'm only on here to distract you, Perry. Yeah. Clifton, hey, we gotta punch up those Twitch numbers somehow. I have not, but I know what it is. Dare I say soft nut? Nice. Dare I say, or like I said before, it's a 50-50 of going blind or not going blind. Starlight Bloody Butcher, 110 proof. We'll see. We will certainly see about this one. It looks cool. 4 years old. Okie dokie. They've got a 9-year rye coming out, though. That's 120 proof. Yay. In Dark Arts. What's the other brand using Bloody Butcher? Somebody's got it on the tip of their tongue, and I'm gonna if I just sit here. Nope. It's none of the. Why is it not coming up? It's not coming up at all. Oh my gosh. Jephthah, there we go. There are so many others. Iron Root, Still Austin. Need to start trimming plaster molds. Bye-bye. All right, Joseph, have a good night, buddy. Good to see you. You can check if it's safe or not. You take a lighter and a little bit of Hembrandt, then you turn it on fire, and it becomes blue. Then it's good. If it's not blue, I don't recommend drinking it. Okay. Cookin' Sauvage, defunct, but Redwood Empire will be doing it. Interesting. Yeah, Jephthah was the one I was thinking of, too. I just couldn't, for the life of me, think of the name. Anyway. Dark Arts blended whiskey, 50% bourbon, 50% rye. Apparently 110.6 proof. I suppose. The worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. The absolute worst thing I've ever seen. Doge corn whiskey. Not even bourbon. From Tulsa, Oklahoma. Or Tuttle, Oklahoma. 80 proof. Probably tastes like Hidden Barn. Totally not AI. You know what the funniest thing about this was to me? Because, I'm getting all this together before my stream. I'm thinking about this. I'm trying to comprehend. I'll take a case to drop off the roof of the Fifth Third building. Yeah. Donald Trump and Elon Musk aren't on good speaking terms. Like, they don't like each other right now. That whiskey goes around undercutting other whiskeys. That's why there are explosives behind them. Like, that's what makes this label even better. It is the dumbest label. It's made for the 1%ers. So this bottle's going to be $2,000. It is insane. It's an insane bottle. This label, this bottle, is like 6 months too late. If it were going to appeal to anybody, it is 6 months too late. Now, it doesn't appeal to me, personally. But why on earth would you do this? It's the dumbest because it's also just the dumbest that buys it, so it goes hand in hand. I hope so, because nobody but dumbasses with more money than sense should buy it. Okay, here's another thing, too. It's corn whiskey. It's not straight corn whiskey. This could be like 6 months old. Grain neutral spirit. There's no way that this has lived in a barrel for more than 5 minutes. This is crazy. Doge corn whiskey, absolutely incredible, folks. Smooth, powerful, and everyone's talking about it. They say it's the best they've ever had. Believe me, once you try it, you'll never go back to the weak stuff again. Madrasmus, have a good night, buddy. Good to see you. Love you too. Thanks so much for being here. Sneak in some corn syrup. I mean, anything to make it better. Thanks, AI. Ugh, awful. Get it off my screen. Basil Hayden. Cognac cask finish reserve. 80 proof. What a label, huh? What a label. All right, next one can't be any... Oh. Frank August. With this, I'm out as well. My disappointment's immense. But this makes a really fun high-end cocktail. This is actually... I just put these back to back because I thought it was funny. Frank August Case Study 6, Legacy Reserve, 8, 9, and 10-year Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 109.24 proof. Frank August has such a nice, simple label. I love it. Remus, Master Distiller Experimental Series. 113 proof straight wheat whiskey, finished in tawny port, white port, Oloroso sherry, and ruby port casks. It really bums me out that they didn't put tawny port, white port, and ruby port together. Frank will want $180? Probably. Couldn't we be so lucky? King of the bootleggers. And then last but not least, a new United bourbon, Kodama Mizunara. 108 proof. Finished with Mizunara and infrared toasted oak barrels. And it looks like it's still their triple mash bourbon. It'll be a whiskey flavored port. Yeah, right. Anyway, folks, that is all the news that is fit to print. And now it's time to move into the review portion of the evening. Can't tell if it's been raining or if there's a random wet spot on my window. And I'm coming to the conclusion that it's a random wet spot on my window for no reason. So, news has me depressed. Let's get to chugging. Is it raining or are you just happy to see me? Just happened. Anyway. We got 3 bourbons. They're from the fine folks at 15 Stars. Each of them are going to make up the new First West line. They're comprised of different, my keyboard is asleep. No, it's not. I just, hello? There we go. This is how you introduce a new brand. I love the bottle design. I do too. I think it is so cool. But there are some different components that make up each of these into some pretty unique products. The first one is the small batch. It is 5, 6, and 7-year bourbon. 102 proof. $60 a bottle. The second is also 5, 6, and 7 years. It is a toasted oak finished at $70 a bottle and 98 proof. Also, they were kind enough to send me full bottles of each, which all came on that same day where I was like, this is a lot of whiskey I'm getting in the mail all at the same time. And then finally, they're extra aged, which is 8 and 9 years old and is $80 a bottle and is 100 proof. Okay. We're doing great with the plastic. Hold on. If it's not wax, it's plastic. And for anybody who has not seen the bottles as well, here, I'll switch back over to the regular cam. Ooh. And they use this more classic style blue glass bottle that is more of a style that is not in use anymore, of course, but is something that was used heavily in the early days of bottling bourbon in Kentucky. And here is the extra aged as well. So we're going to be trying all three of these tonight. Checking them out. And thank you to 15 Stars for sending them my way. They are also supposed to be geared towards cocktail use as well. But I feel like I've been doing a lot of random making of drinks and things. So we're just going to stick to the bourbon side tonight. Sean Holgrave's here, though. Saying sup, dudes. Sean Holgrave. So, very good to see you. How you been, man? We're going to start with the small batch, the 5, 6, and 7 year. Little light, little fruity. Got a bit of nuttiness on the nose, too. Not the, like, typical Jim Beam nuttiness, I would say, but more in the realm of, like, almonds, macadamias. You can tell. You can really pick up on some of the youth in this. But I mean, it's not detracting from, well, for one, it's not detracting from the finish. Oh wait, did I get my glasses mixed up? Hang on. No, I did not. Wow, that toasted oak is so nice. All right, little preview. The toasted oak is really good. Dang. Also, I don't know why I'm sitting at this angle. Like, it's not that the entire angle is different. It's just the way that I wanted to position myself towards the camera, apparently. So, hi. This is how I've locked in for this portion of the stream. Thank you. Thank you, Kyle. I really have no idea why. It's very sweet up front. It starts to go more savory, more towards like the oak profile, towards the back. Finishes medium long. Not crazy. Little chewy. Overall, it's really nice. I think it sits pretty comfortably at the, $60 price point. I can see why this is built maybe a little bit more towards a cocktail bourbon, a cocktail whiskey. But overall, it's a nice jumping off point for what this new line is supposed to be, I think. Just poured some 117 1910 extra red all about it or whatever it's called. And I know that's supposed to say extra read all about it. But my first pass was incorrect for whatever reason. Also, according to Twitch, I can unlock a limited time touch grass badge when I download and share a clip of any IRL stream starting now through August 24th. So read it in a Brooklyn accent. Just poured some one set. Oh, that's to Jay-Z. I'm walking. I gotta get it. I got it in the mindset. I'm walking here. Just poured some 117 1910 extra read all about it or whatever it's called. LOL. It also goes a little Eric Adams. New York is the anchor of America. New York is the Istanbul of America. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? You know how Eric Adams will just say, like, New York City is this random... I mean, he has, like, weird ties to Turkey. Turkiya. But there are a couple clips of him saying, like, New York is the Istanbul of America. It's so funny. Anyway. Eric Adams, one of the weirdest politicians in America. All right, moving on to the Toasted Oak. It's nice. It's a little tobacco-y. Kind of brown sugar as well. Thought you sounded like Squeezy for real. Who is Squeezy for real? I don't know Squeezy for real. Oh, I know Squeezy. Hang on. I gotta turn on my...
Oh. I keep almost getting run over by, like, everything.
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
You get 40 cents off of ice cream at McDonald's if you bring your own cone. I'm kind of curious. What?
Okay. All right. That's my accent. You get 40 cents off ice cream cone at McDonald's if you bring your own cone. All right. What a wild thing to just know for whatever reason. It's great. That's really good. Okay. Anyway, moving on. The toasted oak really is quite good. How else can I save money at McDonald's? How to save money at McDonald's. This is from r/frugal. Only use the app. Is a basket of fries on the menu? I've personally never heard of this option. Saw it for the first time when I visited Pittsburgh. It was awesome. Never seen it anywhere else. Wait. This may be kind of silly because a lot of frugal people might not get fast food anyway, so this may not be relevant to everyone. It could be useful to someone needing a meal and try to stretch their money, though. I used to work at McDonald's, and I couldn't believe the amount of people getting individual meals for every member of their family. The most cost-effective items on the menu that I found as a working consumer are the triple cheeseburgers and a basket of fries. What? The basket of fries is equal to 2 medium fries and is only 40 cents more than 1 medium. Okay. Yeah, look, if you're not already using their app, you should be. Okay, we're moving on. I don't personally eat McDonald's. But that's just me. My hair has been unmanageable the past couple of days. It has driven me crazy. I think, oddly enough, I like the toasted oak a little bit more than I do the small batch. McDonald's should release a corn whiskey like Arby's did with the bourbon. Here's the thing. They've already got a label. Surprise. McDonald's partnered up with Oklahoma. Why a corn whiskey, though? That label already has rolling grain. No! Dog! Homie. Oh, man. It's not even a good likeness of Trump. Or Elon, actually, for that matter. It's really bad AI. Like, honestly, it is really bad AI art. It's not art. It's just bad. It hardly looks like either of them. I can't look at it anymore. All right, let's move on to the extra aged. This is art. Now this is pod racing. Now, as you probably expected, tell us how you feel about AI, Perry, or is that only for Patreon? I mean, I don't think that my feelings about AI are entirely secret, but I did just lay them all out for Patreon, which you know about. But I hate it. I would just I would like a big red button that just says get rid of all AI in Perry Ritter's life, and I just press it and it was just gone. And I never have to and it's not even I wouldn't mind if it was still there and I could criticize it. Cuz it's fun to complain about. But I don't want to have to interact with it in terms of navigating around it. If you want to know how Perry really feels about AI, it's only $2 a month. It's actually $5 a month. On patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. I didn't want to correct you on the podcast episode, Mike. But I just hate opening a PDF and it being do you want to get a full breakdown of how this one-page document, about the information on this one-page document? And it's no, I have two eyes and a brain, a neural connection. I should be able to work this myself. Don't and more so than that, other people should too. What are we doing? It's ridiculous. Anyway. $5 people are eating at McDonald's for criminy's sake. They need a $2 option so they can get their basket of fries. There is a $2 option. But I mean, there's the $1 and you get on the Discord. There's the $2 and you get some monthly updates. And then the $5 is when you start getting the bonus content. And then there's other stuff from there on up. So. Get your basket of fries. Anyway, so the extra age smells the best out of all three. And I think it tastes the best out of all three as well. Yep. I feel better with the full explanation. I can afford some nuggets too. You're welcome, Mike. You're welcome. Man, The Extra Age is such a great whiskey. Musical jump scare. Do I have, I think I do. Oh, I don't have the dadgummit. Balls. Oh well. I do have this emote though. Oh, Sexo doesn't pop up on friggin' shoot. Well, you can only see it on Twitch. I tried. I thought Perry just said Evan was leaving. Why'd you spell my name that way? You spelled my name incorrectly. That's so funny. I was typing too fast. Incredible. Incredible stuff. It's Perry. And it's Papa Ritter. Because Papa Ritter's here. It's such a bummer that my daggum Twitch emotes don't directly translate over to StreamYard. Yeah, it is. Okay. Easy ranking. Well, is it? I don't know. You know what's funny? I think now that I'm really like digging into it, the small batch and the toasted oak might be on the same level. It might be on equal plane. They're very, very close to each other. The extra aged, by and large, though, I mean, far and away is the best. I mean, there's no competition. How often did you have to middle name Perry when calling for him, or was he an angel growing up? I was a pretty good kid. I didn't get middle named very often. Would have never guessed. I mean, it's pretty. It's a pretty like cut and dry scenario here. But it is strange. I mean, like the real head scratcher though is the fact that there is very little daylight between the toasted oak and the small batch. Like, you would have thought that the toasted oak would have introduced a little bit more character, at the very least. You would have thought. But even still, Papa Ritter's dropping some Perry lore here. Of course, you'd say you were an angel. Yeah, Papa Ritter's dropping some dropping some lore on old Pear Bear here. And it is, in fact, a story, but I'm not getting into it. Dane and Sarah were, for the most part, good kiddos. Yeah, for the most part, is appropriate. I very rarely got in trouble. Let's keep spelling Perry's name wrong, like Periwinkle. A drop now and then, but why not? I gotta pour some. You know what? We're just gonna. So we can make this even. Just to make it even, we got to do the blend. Because of course we do. Perry the Ewok. Webnap. Papa Ritter was no angel either. Papa Ritter. This is what I'm about to say is not a bad story. This is this is more of a tell on my grandmother than it is my dad. My dad went to his first concert. My grandmother was so anal retentive about a lot of things, but especially about the behavior of my dad and my aunt. My dad's first show, he was still a young teenager. And 1978, yes. So this would put him in the 13-year-old range, 14-year-old. Well behaved. Didn't want to get in trouble. Goes to the concert. Good kid. Doesn't participate in any activities. Comes home. My grandmother is waiting basically at the door for him. And with no hesitation, looks him dead in the eye, points a finger at him, and goes, "You were smoking pot." No. I wasn't at all. And she was like, I know you were. My grandmother, God love her, God bless her soul, was the most paranoid woman you would ever meet in your entire life. This Devil's Lettuce core memory unlocked. This is a true story. Beyond what I'm telling you right now. For no reason, my grandmother thought that their house was bugged. She was worried that somebody had bugged their house. These were people who lived in basically the middle of nowhere, Kentucky. And she was concerned that there were people listening in on their day-to-day life. And so for my dad at 14 years old to come into the house, have her bone finger pointed directly in between his eyes and go, "You were smoking weed, and I know it because I just do," was not an uncommon occurrence. It was just part of his life. And I feel so... It was just... The first time I heard that story, I was in stitches because I knew my grandmother so well to know that not an ounce of that story was a lie, first and foremost. And second of all, that I felt bad for my dad. Because he was coming off of like the not the high of like drugs, but the high of going to a show. Like, what was it, Dad? Who'd you go see? Was that ELO? Was that Doobie Brothers? It's appropriate. I can't remember. But either way, like, you know, the excitement of like going to not only you know, a show, but like your first show too, and then to come home and your mom is like accusing you of something you didn't do, and you're in trouble for nothing. Just ELO, yeah, it was ELO. If it's Doobie Brothers, I think the same thing. But no, it was the Electric Light Orchestra. There was a freaking spaceship, man. Now, okay, if you came in the house and I'm telling this wrong and the first thing you said to her was, "Mom, there was a spaceship," I also might accuse you of smoking pot. In 1978. We just don't have the technology, David. You got into Mom's amphetamines again, didn't you? You know. I did see that's why I couldn't remember for sure. I did see the Doobie Brothers a few months later, and she didn't wait up for me that night, thank God. Ma, there was a friggin' spaceship with aliens crawling out of it. They showed me wonders, Ma. You wouldn't believe it. I saw God. We played Pachisi. He told me tomorrow's lottery numbers, Ma. 3, 17, 20, 9, 32. At least there was no probing. They asked. I said, I gotta see my mother. She could smell it. I'd be in trouble. All of it's true. They picked me up and they shook me around like a little baby. They wanted to make sure I was real. They called me a meat sack. I had talk after talk with my dad the next day, and I was just telling the truth with him. PTSD. The blend is, the blend's good. I started to go a little Danny DeVito. So anyway, I started blasting. Oh, man. Show number 2 was Boston with Sammy Hagar opening. My sister went with me. Hey. What a time. What a time to be alive. That was when you could go to concerts for $5. $5 and a smile. Nowadays, you got to sell your first kid. That's why. That's why I've... never mind. Couldn't come up with anything good. Oh. My brain's fried by Boston accent. $5 a smile and weed you didn't smoke? I got this weed. And I don't know what to do with it. Somebody please take it from me. Hey, my neck gets a little like elongated when I do the chain smoker Brooklyn accent. Ah. I think the blend might be better than any of the three of them on their own. I'll be honest. And it kind of makes me think that whenever I go and try making this into a cocktail, I might do just that. Oh, actually, because I imagine that everybody's going to be like, "Oh, you can take the toasted oak and you can put it in a smoked old fashioned. You can take the extra age and you put it in a Manhattan." But you know, nobody's going to take the like a split base and do a sour with it or anything like that. So, food for thought. You know what I might do too is I might try to infuse some of the toasted oak into like a honey syrup. I'll show you a split base sour, chump. What might I do? I'll tell you what I might do. But take some of the toasted oak and infuse it into like a honey syrup or just honey, and make it into more of like a liqueur. And then take the where I'm from, we float red wine in our sours. So it's gone from like aggressive Brooklyn guy to aggressive, but also he hangs out in like really fancy hotel bars. You ever been to the Ritz? Aggressively refined newsy. How do you think I got here? I wasn't born with a silver spoon. It's called new money. New money Brooklynite. Who started it as a paper boy. Anyway, infusing honey with the toasted oak, doing a split base sour. If I can do the red wine floater, I will. I've never successfully made a New York sour before, though. That would be interesting. That would be a fun little like experiment. Ooh, a fun video would be. Oh, man, it would it would be expensive, but doing a video where it's like making a New York sour until I make the perfect one. All I needed was a small loan from my entrepreneurial father. But he's been in the den for 8 months. Every now and then a good character comes up in 10-bit lore. And I really, really like new money newsboy Brooklynite. Who's got a red wine cask finish whiskey? I like using those for faux New York sours. Let's get off of the frugal subreddit. Red wine cask finish. Oh, Basil Hayden. But I'm not about to shell out that much money. Thomas More. Jefferson's. Perfect, yeah. If you screw up the drink, you still have to consume it, make it even harder to make the perfect one until you end up a heap on the floor. You may need a partner there that night. That actually would make it even funnier if, like, we rent out, like, a test kitchen and I've got a producer who just is like, who's like, all right, buddy, we got to keep going. And it's like, I can't do it. Okay, Basil Hayden red wine is only what? Okay, so this says $43. Davies County Cabernet Sauvignon, $45. What is this headline from Breaking Bourbon? Discover something unexpected with new red wine cast finish release from Basil Hayden. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Why? It just looks so aggressive on Google. 1792 drops another banger. 3 new cask finishes reviewed. What?
Basement Bourbon Bar. We have 1792 back in the basement. If you all recall, not that long ago, we discussed the cognac finished 1792, and it was pretty decent.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
For a pretty good price, too.
Was it $45, $50?
Yeah, it was somewhere around
like
$50. Yeah, I don't remember, exactly. And I'm not really quite sure why the rest of these cask finish series of 1792 is coming out together, and the cognac was a couple of months ago or a month ago.
Okay. Pinot Noir, rum cask, and Zinfandel. Oh, Zinfandel. Okay. I mean, I can watch that later. Dog, how long has SLB Drinks been around? Because they have 179,000 subscribers. 5 years ago? They never get to the point. They were loud. Were they? My bad. Anyway. I mean, there's plenty of options. Oh, there's an Ezra Brooks 99. That's port wine finished. I would rather use like a Cabernet or a Merlot. Anyway, I mean, it would be easy to just kind of fudge it with the Basil Hayden I.W. Harper Cabernet cask. I don't think I've ever seen that. Sherry works in a pinch? Interesting. Okay. I will keep that in mind. I do think it would be a really fun video to do that, though. Like, video doesn't end until I make the perfect New York sour. Especially as somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience with making a New York sour. Like, I know the basic steps to doing so, but I don't have enough experience with it. This would be a lot easier. I don't even have to rent out space. There's plenty of areas. I could do this. I'm thinking too hard, man. I'm thinking way too hard. What if it's like video doesn't end until I make the perfect New York sour and then I do it on the first try? It's a 5-minute long video. Like there's a lot on the front end that's like, all right, so what's a New York sour? And it's like, okay, well, you got your basic sour, which is, whiskey cocktail, and it's got citrus, and blah, 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 blah. And banger clickbait vid. Oh, 100%. And it's so front loaded with information, and and then you just immediately are like, well, I did it. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Click the buttons down below for more videos. Come back here every Thursday for live streams. I'm Perry, and this is my Bourbon Podcast. It's like, so this guy just know how to do it all. It's also arguably terrible. It's very clearly grape juice. It's grape juice on top of like orange juice. Makes absolutely no sense. People are just confused the whole time. Need some now. Need some. Oh, okay. That would be another fun way to do it. Is with like all non-alcoholic ingredients. Today I'm making the world's first non-alcoholic New York sour. And it's $2,000 a glass. Of all the Perry's with Bourbon podcasts, you're arguably my favorite. Aw. Thanks. It's a good thing there's only 1 million bourbon podcasts now, and I'm, falling into obscurity very quickly. But what a wonderful 8 years this has been. And this is not me saying I'm done. I'm going to keep going and doing this for a long time. But there was a golden age for This Is My Bourbon Podcast. And I think we're past it. But I'm enjoying doing content now more than I ever have. And I hope things, I hope some wind comes our way and it gets caught, you know? Because I feel like I'm putting out better content than I ever have. And I don't want it to get lost. Anyway. Time to make it get that second wind? I agree. We got to figure that out. But that's for another night. Because this has been a wonderful stream. Be more controversial? All right, fine. I'm going to say it. This has been a really fun stream. Thank you all so much, as always, for all of your support. Next week, I'm going to be streaming a little bit more because my girls are going to be gone. So I should be on Twitch more. Twitch.tv/mybourbonpod. If you're not following over there already, please do so. If I can do more YouTube stuff, more YouTube streams as well, I will try to. I try to reserve the YouTube streams for just Thursday nights because it's hard to do, news and stuff more than once a week. But it is what it is. But anyway, I love y'all. Thank you for watching. It's been wonderful. I'll see you real soon. Till next time, though. I'm Perry. This is my Bourbon Podcast Live. Take care.